You think your passport is valid, your flight is booked, your hotel is paid for, and then, you get denied at the gate. Not because your passport expired, but because you didn't know about a rule that quietly changed in 2026. This is happening right now, and it could happen to you. Cut to B-roll of traveler being stopped at airport counter. Calm down slightly, face to camera, conversational, "Hey, welcome back," or if you're new here, welcome. And I cover everything travel so you don't have to learn the hard way. This year, 2026, is honestly one of the biggest years for passport and travel rule changes in recent memory. We're talking new biometric systems in Europe, real enforcement of ID laws in America, new requirements for the UK, new online authorizations, photo rejection rules. It's a lot. So in this video I'm going to break down every single major change, who it affects, and exactly what you need to do before your next trip. No fluff. No filler. Just the stuff you actually need to know. Grab a pen, seriously, let's get into it. Rule number 1. Title card on screen. Rule number 1, Real ID, no more warnings. Okay, rule number 1. And this one hits Americans first. Starting February 1st, 2026, the TSA, that's airport security here in the US, is done being nice about Real ID. For years, they've been warning people, doing test runs, extending deadlines. That's over. Here's what Real ID is. It's a federal standard for driver's licenses. If your state-issued ID doesn't meet that standard, TSA will not accept it for domestic flights. I'm talking flights from New York to LA, Chicago to Miami. Doesn't matter. Now here's how you know if your license qualifies. Look at the top right corner of your driver's license. Is there a star? A gold star, a black star, any kind of star or flag symbol? If yes, you're good. If there's nothing there, you're not compliant. So what happens if you show up without a Real ID? 2 options. Option 1, you use your passport. That works. But that means you now need to carry your passport everywhere, even for domestic trips, which is annoying. Option 2, you pay a $45 non-compliance fee right there at the TSA checkpoint. That fee is valid for 10 days. After that, you pay again. And honestly, they can still give you additional screening or delays. One more thing, if you're a teenager traveling alone, you need a compliant ID too. Minors with parents who have Real ID are fine, but solo teen travelers, take note. Bottom line, check your license right now. If there's no star, go to your DMV and get a Real ID before your next flight. It's usually just a trip to the DMV with a few documents, birth certificate, proof of address. Easy fix. Just don't put it off. Rule number 2. Okay, rule number 2, and this one surprises almost everyone. The US State Department has updated its standards for passport photos, and they are now actively rejecting photos that have been altered by AI tools, beauty filters, or automatic enhancement features. And before you say, "I didn't use a filter," here's the thing. A lot of phone cameras auto-enhance your photos by default. Samsung Galaxy phones smooth skin automatically. iPhones brighten faces. Portrait mode blurs backgrounds. None of that is acceptable anymore for passport photos. What do they want? A plain, untouched photo. Natural lighting. White or off-white background. Neutral expression. No glasses. No heavy shadows. No hats. And importantly, no digital touch-ups of any kind. If they detect enhancement, even a subtle one, your application gets rejected. You lose the processing fee. You have to resubmit. And if you're in a rush, you could miss your travel window entirely. My advice, go to a physical location, a CVS, Walgreens, UPS store, or passport acceptance facility, and have them take a compliant photo with a proper camera. Don't use your phone's selfie camera. Don't use an app. Spend the $15 or whatever it costs at a store and do it right the first time. This one rule alone has caused thousands of application rejections this year. Don't let it be you. Rule number 3, Europe's new border system, biometrics are here. Rule number 3 is a big one if you're planning any trip to Europe, and this is so new that most people have absolutely no idea it exists. Europe has launched what's called the Entry/Exit System, or EES. And what it does is replace the old passport stamp with something much more serious, biometric screening. That means fingerprints, facial recognition, a full digital record of when you enter and when you leave. This system is live now at major European airports and land borders. When you arrive in a Schengen country, that's Germany, France, Spain, Italy, Greece, the Netherlands, and many more, you will be scanned. Your fingerprints are taken. Your face is photographed. This data is stored and linked to your passport. Now, you don't have to do anything special to prepare for this. You just go through the process at the border. But, here's why it matters. 1. If you've overstayed a visit to Europe before, they'll know. The system tracks exactly how long you stayed and cross-references it. So if you stayed 95 days on a 90-day allowance 3 years ago, that might flag you now. 2. Lines will be longer. The biometric scanning takes more time than stamping. Early reports from airports show slowdowns, especially during peak travel hours. Budget extra time at the airport when arriving in Europe. 3. This is the foundation for everything coming next, including ETIAS, which I'll get to in just a second. The EES doesn't require you to apply for anything in advance. But knowing about it means you won't be surprised when you step up to that border kiosk and they ask for your hand to scan your fingerprints.